Hello everybody, I trust you guys are doing good and holding up tight during this challenging season. My name is Bheka Mthethwa and welcome to PSK Masterclass. Allow me to take you through a journey of my experiences and achievements in good faith that it will inspire you to become better in what you do. But first things first, who is Bheka Mthethwa? I'm a proudly South African bass guitarist, award-winning gospel jazz artist, a producer, music director, songwriter, software developer, entrepreneur, //. But today it's all about music and all about this space. My success is and always been about influence, impact, and inspiration. For the past decade, I've consistently been offering bass guitar sessions for chart-topping albums in our country, both live and studio. Some of you will remember me from Joyous Celebration Stage, Sibongile, Khumalo, Judith, Sephuma, Ntokozo, Mbambo, Dyer, Ernest Smith, just to mention a few. And also international stars like Kirk Franklin, Donnie McClurkin, Chevelle Franklin, Joe Metal from Ghana, the list is endless. I'm very humbled, yet very proud of the level of influence I have in the bass guitar world. Not only to bass guitarists, but to other instrumentalists as well as vocalists, music directors, producers, not only in gospel scene, but as I continue to extend my proclivities by incorporating other genres. They say the best gift you can give to anyone is an opportunity. And I'm very grateful to everyone, to every artist, to every production that has given me a chance to express myself within their music so that I continue to influence, impact, and inspire others. But it didn't start there. It started with the basics. Basics of the basics. If you take care of the basics, they will take care of you in the long run. So I'm just going to share with you the basics that have taken me this far. Firstly, I'm going to tell you what the role of this instrument is. And I'm just going to share with you my secret of quickly understanding this fretboard, as well as the EQ, how I tone my bass, so that you get an understanding of that consistency when you play and that precision and that articulation always, so that you sound clear and crisp. Yeah guys, this is a bass guitar. It's known as a low-end instrument. And yes, it is a low-end instrument. It defines the lowest sounding pitch of every note. No matter how sophisticated the chord is, no matter how sophisticated the vocal harmony is, this instrument defines the low end so that you know the root note of that specific chord or that specific harmony that is expressed in the music. So with that in mind, when you EQ this bass using these knobs right here, it doesn't mean that you close everything else and just open the bass and sound booming. The EQ, the general band EQ, starts from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, which is 20,000 hertz. So, and the bass probably basically ranges between 20 and 200 hertz. That's the lowest range you can have, and it sounds like all the way. But it doesn't have to sound like that. You need the overtones. It means that you need to move from at least 200 to at least like 10,000 hertz, so that the overtones may help your low end sound brighter and make sure that it cuts through the mix, and that will make you sound crisp. So as for me, this is how I EQ my bass. This is actually my low bass frequency, which is the low end, and I have the mid-range. You guys can see this, right? I have the mid-range right here, and then I have my treble here, which is the top end of the EQ. And then this is just a pickup balancer to make sure that these pickups sound together all the time. However, sometimes if I want a thinner, semi-fretless kind of sound, I just bend this to my right, and it uses this right pickup right here. So, and then it makes sound just a little bit smoother and closer to fretless. However, generally, I have my low end, my low frequency in the middle, I have my mid-range in the middle, and I have my treble in the middle. Just a flat EQ, just a flat general band EQ. And then as I go, because rooms are different, every room, it depends on how it's treated acoustically. It affects the resonance of either your voice or your instrument or whatever. So it depends on the room sound that I'm receiving acoustically. I just boost each and every frequency depending on how I hear it in that specific room, or that specific venue I'm playing, whether I'm in studio or in a live venue. But however, I don't fully open my low end because I don't want to sound muddy and muffled. I also want to sound crisp so that when I play, whatever I play cuts through the mix and everyone can hear what I'm doing. And the mid-range is very important to balance your low ends with the top ends. And it works perfectly for the bass because it helps you when you play your high notes like this. Right here I have my bass in the middle, and I have my mid-range, and I have my treble right here. And then, luckily enough for the bass I'm using, it has the piezo pickups. These piezo pickups are right here underneath the strings to add the brightness of the bass so that it cuts through the mix all the time. So right now I'm just gonna close all these other bands and open just the bass so that you guys may probably hear how it sounds. I want you to notice the difference as I add the mid-range into the mix. Okay, here we go. The mid-range is in now. Listen to that. There is some sort of brightness and some sort of precision and consistency so that I don't sound muffled. Now I'm going to add the treble even further. Then I'm adding the piezo pickups so that I add more brightness on this bass. Whatever. So that's basically how I tone my bass. I don't just go all the way with the low frequency and close these other overtones because I need them. I need the brightness. I need to be heard. When I play a note, it must be heard clearly with that precision and consistency. And so that's basically how I tone my bass. And I'm just gonna move on to show you how I basically got to understand the fretboard from the get-go. This is a 6-string bass, but for the benefit of 4-string players, benefit of 5-string players, I'm just gonna use only these middle strings, which is open E, A, D, and G. As open as it is, it has an octave. And bass has 2 dots right here. If you guys can see, there's 2 dots right here. 2 dots, yeah. It means that this open string, as open as it is, it has this octave right here on these 2 dots. All the other strings open, so this is E, open E, octave, open A, octave, open D, octave, open G, octave. Now, this is how I got to basically understand the fretboard quickly, so that when I'm here playing an E, then I know that, okay, if I play my E here, I have my F here, I have my F sharp right here, and then I have my G here. And that automatically tells me that if I have open G here, open G string, and the octave of open G string is right here, it means that as I reverse, going backwards to G flat, which is F sharp, F, and then E. So I have my E. So if I want to play my E open, I can quickly go to the higher E from the G string, So automatically you can now move. Something like that. So if you have your A here, it means that you have your A here. And you know that if you're in a key of G, we know that A is your second, which means A is your 2 in a major scale. So if you have your A here, automatically it tells you that if you're playing maybe straight, I got it. I just went straight to the double dots, which is the octave of the open A, because I know that basically, my basic theory tells me that A is the second of G, and then if I have A here, then something like that. So those are the basics I got from the get-go, for me to quickly, get to capture and understand the fretboard. Basics. I have an E here. Here's my E. So guys, I think I've given you the basics. Just make sure that you know your open string, right? Go straight to the octave. Constantly use your ear, but depending on what you want to play, use the basics. Open, octave, and then try to find, yourself in the mix of a position of the key, which key you're in, and then harmonically where you're at. Those are the basics that I used to rather capture the fretboard, and also just to understand the tone so that it sounds consistent, and making sure that it's heard. It's so nice to be heard. It's so nice as a bass player to carry the music and make sure that you sound as amazing as possible. You support the band, you support the harmony, and make sure that you move forward. Okay, now I'm moving to basic 2 roles of the bass guitar. I've already, hinted some, but the major basics of the bass guitar, actually the basic roles of a bass guitar or a bass player, is rhythmic foundation and harmonic foundation. Those are the two. Melody fits in harmony, so basically bass guitar carries all those elements, here at the bass player's hand. So as a bass player, it's very key that you understand all these things. You understand the rhythm. Rhythm is a constant pulse that you keep. If a bass player is playing, if a drummer is playing, as a bass player, you make sure that you sit with the drummer. And that's the part of the rhythm foundation that you're holding and the part of the rhythm role that you are playing. And then a keyboard player will play E minor, for instance, play A minor, for instance, and then B minor. You, as a bass player, you're playing those root notes. That root note, this is not just an E, open string, but depending on the quality, whether the song is E major. So as a bass player, you are complementing that harmony. Whether a song is on E minor, as a bass player, you are complementing that harmony. And going to A minor, as a bass player, you are complementing that. Going to B minor, and back to A, back to E minor. So harmony, as we know, is, harmony has levels. Harmony has levels. So the basic level of harmony is harmonizing against a unison line. For instance, so the basic harmony would be, so as a bass player, your role is to constantly define this, but harmony at highest level is the quality of the chord, whether it's G dominant, which is this. As a bass player, you must understand the harmonic foundation that you are supporting at that very specific point in time, depending on style, of course, and chord progression and the voicings of the pianist. As agreed, as you guys rehearsed, you know exactly as a bass player that I'm supporting this rhythm. Rhythm is the feel of the song. Say it's a funk. Whether it's a ballad. Depending on the style, your role as a bass player, get the feel of the song, get the rhythm of the song. Where is it landing? What's the constant pulse that you are holding? Is it a 4/4? Is it a 3/4? Depending on the time signature. And also, define harmony. How do you define harmony as a bass player? You get the right chord progressions. You get the right qualities of the chords. If it's 4 major 7th, 1 major 7th, or flat 7, however, into a 5 sus. As a bass player, you must know all these qualities because they will help you go a long way, and you will continue to inspire, impact, and influence others, as I've been doing, and you do that quietly. Keep your humbleness, work on your craft, understand what you're doing very well, and stop talking. They say those who know don't talk, and those who talk don't know. So you must know your basics, and you must continue to learn to learn. The first learn is for information. The second learn is for the attitude. Develop the attitude of learning, make sure that you grasp information from anyone, not only from bass players, from anyone. Whether it's a speech in the news, listen attentively, because that goes a long way. It expands your thinking, it expands your mind, and you become a greater and best person in what you do. So those are the basics, guys. I wanted to share with you, fundamentals of the bass, and also just getting how you can quickly understand and navigate through the fretboard, and also just to share with you how I tone my bass. So it's very key as a bass player to understand rhythm, to understand harmony, to understand melodies, because your role is to support all these music elements as you bring in the low end, as you bring in the support structure, as you bring in the root foundation of the music. All these elements must be supported by you. So if you don't understand harmony, you won't be able to improvise, because you must improvise within the context of the harmonic foundation. And also, when you're giving a solo as a bassist, you must know exactly what to play, how to express yourself within the harmonic foundation, within the chord progressions that you understand clearly, within the rhythm that you understand clearly, within the time signature that you understand clearly. These basics will keep you outstanding, that we may continue with this thing of impacting, influencing, and inspiring others. One of the main reasons I recorded my debut album, SUPERNAL Sounds, was to continue to inspire, so that I show bass players that this instrument that is traditionally known as a backing instrument, we can take the center stage, we can be in the forefront and be artists ourselves, and also express ourselves, because bass players are great songwriters and composers. So let's continue this beautiful work. Let's continue to inspire others and impact the world. And I'm proud to announce that SUPERNAL Sounds scored me 2 beautiful awards. The first one is Crown Gospel Award, and I got that for the category of the Best Gospel Jazz Song, which was featuring Mabongi. The title is All by Grace. And I got the second one right here, this small one. This is a crown, and this one, I got it from the UK. I was nominated as Best Musician of Excellence. Receiving that award from abroad says a lot. It's a huge statement. So that inspired me to even, to work harder than before, so that I continue to represent South Africa, and also to impact, my fellow musicians and everyone else that is aspiring to go this journey that we've traveled. It's not easy, but it's achievable. Basics. Take care of the basics, they will take care of you. Guys, it's been great. As I check out, I want to extend my profound gratitude to the PSK guys for inviting me to be part of this masterclass. I hope that you guys learned a lot from it and you got inspired. Let's continue walk this journey and let's inspire others. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms and subscribe to that YouTube channel, because I have a lot prepared for you guys. Peace.